across the board, just under 66 US cents, $1.13 Kiwi, and continuing to monitor these record moves in gold, while oil is trading just under 70 US dollars a barrel. Taylor.
Juliet Sarli from Ausbiz, thank you. New data shows the Australian retirement age is its highest in decades, with many working well into their twilight years. Now, if that's not your cup of tea and you'd rather be relaxing later on, well, don't fret. Leading finance advisors say there are ways to exit the workforce comfortably. And for more on this, your Future Strategy Managing Director, Gareth Croy, joins me now. Welcome, Gareth. Tell us what's behind this shift in the retirement age.
Well, I think there's a few contributing factors. A lot of people will probably assume that it's to do with cost of living pressures, and that might be a factor. But I also, have seen firsthand with clients that sometimes it's about contribution to society, and they're still feeling fulfilled with working, and so happy to continue to work into their 70s, whereas perhaps they haven't in the past.
And where is this trend heading? Are we seeing expectations that perhaps the pension age will have to increase?
Well, it certainly probably still provides the safety buffer that needs to when people reach 67 and they haven't, prepared and have their own self-funded retirement ready. So there may be some pressure on that, but I think a lot of people are focused on taking matters into their own hands, setting up their own strategies for success in retirement.
And how much money does the average person actually need to retire?
Yeah, great question. It's really up to the individual. We get a lot of clients varying in range from people who are very happy on a modest sort of $40,000 a year budget, right through to people who have a better lifestyle, up to $400,000. So there's no set figure. I know there's a lot of reports, a lot of data about that, but it really comes down to individual circumstances, the lifestyle, where you want to live, and what you want to do with your time. So there's a big range. I think it's really down to the individual.
And of course, the big question is, how do we retire early?
Yeah, great question as well. So the key for most people is engaging early. So if you've got a strategy with a decent amount of runway, so you've got enough time to action that, then there is plenty you can do. What we're seeing a lot of is people asleep at the wheel, where they've got equity and property they could be using to generate more wealth. So that's probably one place to look immediately to see whether there's something you could be doing that won't necessarily impact your household budget. So it's not going to affect your day-to-day living, but it will definitely affect your lifestyle and retirement based on the wealth that can be generated.
Now, in terms of when to start, thousands of Aussie kids will be graduating soon. Is it too young for them to be thinking about retirement? And what can their parents do for kids who are just entering the workforce?
Yeah, never too young. So being able to start early, I guess a lot of it in that first phase is education. And so starting to really understand the concepts around investing, what risk is all about, how to mitigate it where possible, where the opportunities are. So never too young to engage into the process, and also then starting to keep your eye on the prize as to what you actually need. It's staggering how many people haven't actually engaged into how much money would they actually need to retire on a certain lifestyle.
There's also been this growing phenomenon of micro-retirement. I've never heard of it. What's that?
Yeah, I've been talking about this a little bit recently. So what we're seeing is a trend where people take an extended period of time off, not for retirement as we would ordinarily know it, which is at the end of your working career, but it's this period of time where you step out of the workforce, take this sort of micro-retirement period. We're seeing it become really popular where people are switching industries. So if they're finishing up and moving into a different career, a different path, they're using that opportunity to really explore going and spending some time doing something, travel overseas, contribute to a charity. There's a number of things we've seen.
And if someone chooses to take that route, that micro-retirement route, how could that impact their capability to potentially retire comfortably later?
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily have to. I think, again, this all comes back to having a strategy. So knowing that if you are leaving the workforce, that potentially is going to impact the income that you have for that period of time. But if you plan for it and you actually can achieve a plan that produces some capital to generate income whilst you're in this micro-retirement, it doesn't necessarily need to affect the long-term plans, but it is about provisioning for it. So not just deciding on a whim that you want to do it, but working towards it over a period of time. So yeah, we are seeing people in their early 30s doing it as well, but knowing that, you know, there is some things that they need to do in advance before exiting the workforce for a period.
All right, well, I'm in my 30s. Maybe I need to give it some consideration. Thanks so much for your time today, Gareth.
No problem.
Still ahead on 10 News lunchtime, investigations continue into an intense 3-hour police chase. A man now charged, and the MCG gets some star power ahead of the AFL Grand Final.
Some people think that goats will devour anything. Rubbish! The truth is, goats demand the best, like Sly Stallone in Tulsa King, Michael C. Hall in Dexter Resurrection, and Tony and Ziva in the NCIS spin-off, Tony and Ziva. So if you're hungry for drama, Paramount Plus is serving up a feast.
Stream Paramount Plus from $6.99 a month.
That's spicy.
Top End Aboriginal Bush Broadcasting Association, nationally known as TBAR. We broadcast to 29 First Nations remote communities across the Top End. Get your important message out into these communities. Contact TBAR, your voice in the bush.
Going on a fantastic adventure with all the Gabby cats. Cakey got fakey. Some new friends. And so much more.
She's got glitter everywhere.
Everywhere?
Everywhere.
Gabby's Dollhouse the movie in cinemas Saturday.
Are you worried about someone in your family using